Story time on how the guy I loved, the guy I was looking to go into a relationship with, almost gave me the virus, and he did it intentionally. So there's this particular time in my life I went to buy snacks in a particular store. I was just eating my snacks, and this guy approached me, collected my number. From that day we started talking on WhatsApp. So during our period of talking stage, told me his intention. Now, I like you, baby girl, be my girlfriend, whatever. Then I told him that the only way I can date a man, date you or anybody, is if the man is capable. You guys understand what I mean by capable? Ramification. He must be able to take care of me, pay my bills, like my needs. So these were my terms and conditions that I gave him. And he said there's no problem. During our talking stage, this guy sent me money. Like, he would just randomly send me money. I ask him, or I do not ask him. He will send me and he will surpass it. At some point, he bought me wigs, and this guy told me that I should not worry, that if I agree to date him, I'm going to enjoy more of this. So this, his benevolent character, was part of the reason why I agreed to say, you know what, let me give this guy a try, because he's giving a dogu vibe now. So after talking for a while, he invited me over to his place. That day, his driver came to pick me. The fact that his driver came to pick me was another reason why I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to date this guy. When I got to his place, his house was looking so fine. His house was giving big boy vibes. So when this guy came to welcome me, I noticed he wasn't putting on clothes, right? But he was putting on shorts, like a short knicker, joggers kind of thing. Then I noticed he had like a rash at his back, like rash now. But I felt, okay, maybe nothing is going on. I just thought maybe he's reacting to bad water or something. So that day that I arrived his place, we talked, gisted, and had a good time. You guys understand what I mean by having a good time, but we did it protected. So I stayed in his place for like 2 to 3 days, and I went back to my place. When I got home, I tried calling him, I tried reaching out to him, because a couple of days later, it was going to be my birthday. So I wanted us to have like a discussion on how we're going to, spend my birthday together and stuff. But this guy wasn't picking my calls. I wasn't responding to any of my text messages, and his attitude continued for like 3 months. So I was so pissed, I was angry, and I felt used. I was like, this guy, why give me that vibe of you like me, only for me to come to your place after we've done it? Now I'm calling you, you're not picking. So that was the feeling I was getting. So like after 3 months, this guy reached out to me. I was angry at first, I was so pissed, but he later explained to me, apologized to me, that it wasn't his intention not to talk to me for those 3 months. That in fact, for those 3 months he has been sick, very, very sick. His family has been rushing him to hospital, from one hospital to another, so that was why he couldn't reach out to me. So when he gave me that explanation, that kind of like watered down the anger I had towards him. Then after a long apology and long talk, he told me that he would want us to continue from where we left off. I told him, yeah, I don't have a problem, because I know that this guy is somebody that is rich. So when he asked me for us to continue from where we left off, I was so happy. But I told him that if we want to go into a proper relationship now, we have to run tests, so that we'll be sure that you are clean and I am clean. But guess what? This guy said no, he doesn't like to run tests. I said, what do you mean? He said it's not like running tests is a bad thing, but there's that kind of blood you see, like if you want to run tests, this kind of test, like let's say HIV test, genotype test, because I told him we'll run all the tests, HIV, genotype, hepatitis B, everything, to so that to be on the safer side now. So he said, when they're running tests, they will have to poke your hand and blood will come out. That he doesn't really like it. He doesn't like seeing blood. I'm like, you don't like seeing blood. But in my head, I'm like, your family has been taking you to hospital, different type of hospital, that you say you're not feeling fine. They didn't run tests for you then. So what is the big deal if I'm asking you to run tests now? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. That's why I said, you know what? Let me just do my findings. Because there was something else I noticed. That first time, 3 months ago, that I went to visit him, I noticed this guy was always on drugs. He was taking different kind of drugs. But you know me now, being it the first time that I'm visiting somebody, I don't want to ask too much. But when we did our activities that day, we used protection. So I just went to Google and I typed symptoms of the virus, symptoms of like the HIV virus, and Google showed me different kind of pictures. And I saw a picture of a rash, and that rash looked like exactly the rash I saw in his body that first time that I came. When I saw that picture on Google, that was when everything started clicking. I started putting 1 or 2 dots together. That's when it started making sense to me. I was like, wait, is it that this guy has the virus? Is that the reason why he says he doesn't want to do tests? Is that the reason why he has rash? Is that also the reason why he's saying that, a whole lot of questions was going through my mind. I know what now even made me take like 10 steps back to be more careful was when me and this guy was talking. He said when we eventually when we not enter, sorry, pardon me, when we not enter into a relationship, that he doesn't like using protection, that we'll do it unprotected. So I was not like, I'm asking you for us to run tests, the HIV and whatever test, so that we'll be on a safer side. He said no. On top of that, you are saying that we'll do it unprotected. That was the thing that makes sense to me. But I say this guy gets this thing and he wants to give me. So after all long talk, I went off the phone with him and I blocked him. I had to block him because I only have one life to live. In as much as I love soft life, I love to be spoiled and pampered, I don't want the virus. And this guy is giving the energy like he wants to intentionally give me the virus. So I waited a couple of months, went to the lab and do the test for myself, like the HIV test, and to the glory of God, I was negative. And ever since that day, I've been more careful. Although my love for soft life has not reduced, but at least I've been more careful. Because imagine if I agreed to what he was saying, because at some point this guy was ready to give me everything, but he was just hammering on the fact that he doesn't want to do tests and will always have it unprotected. And this is somebody that in his body had the rash of, somebody that has it. Not that I'm castigating him, but I just, now when I think about it, I'm just asking myself, like, why? But anyways, thank God I did not fall for it. Thank God I did not fall for it. So that's why I'm just sharing my story so that you guys will be careful. In as much as they can be looking so fine, looking so pleasing, they might be everything you want, your spec. Be careful. Be careful, because if I wasn't so careful and observant, that's how this guy would have given me. If I was carried away, I like money, but if I was carried away by the love of money, if I was obsessed by the love of money, that's how this guy would have given me. Because at some point, it was as if he wanted to bribe me. It was giving, you must date me, I won't do the test. But it was giving as if he wanted us to date by all means, but he didn't want to do the test. Now, so I for carry the virus, the waka. Guys, learn from my story. Be careful. If you see your spec, man or woman, it is not a bad thing. Please run the test before you do anything, because just one moment of enjoyment can ruin it for you. Anyways, with that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. By the way, this is not my story. It was sent to me by a follower. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section on what you think about this whole thing. Do you think she giving him her terms and condition, she did the right thing? And if you find yourself in a situation like this, as a woman, if you find yourself, will you fall for it, or will you stand your ground that you must run the test? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next one.